Take me to tomorrow place. Take me to Tomorrowland. Make me forget all about yesterday. Let me understand your plot. Hi, I'm Andre. I'm a black nerd with a review for you. Little reviews. Tomorrowland. I'll tell you about it tomorrow. I'm gonna tell you the good. I'm gonna tell you the bad. I'm gonna tell you the nerdy. Plot of Tomorrowland. I don't know. I even saw the movie. I don't know. Okay, the thing about this movie is not a lot about the movie is out there, so I feel like everything I want to say about this movie is a spoiler. So I'm gonna do a spoiler review video separate from this to tell you some of the things that I want to talk about that would be spoilers. First, the good. Casey's played by Britt Robertson. She has the optimism about the future and that we can change the world, and that's what gets her to be accepted into Tomorrowland via the special pin that takes you to a completely different dimension that is also the future, but is happening around the same time. Co-creator of Lost wrote this, so you know what you're dealing with. Athena, easily one of the best parts of this movie. She has cool scenes, she has a special set of skills, and of course she's got that British accent, so that makes her sound all proper and better than everyone else. But she is awesome in this movie. That's all I can say right now. There's more about her, but spoiler version. There's a good chunk of the movie where it's just these two together. They just had a good chemistry together. They played off of each other pretty well. And there's also some action scenes, and when we get some action scenes, it is really awesome. So let's talk about Tomorrowland itself, the actual location. There is an awesome shot pretty early in the movie where you get to go through Tomorrowland. It is beautiful and it's all done in one take. You get to walk through the land, you get to hear people have conversations, you get to see things flying around. Everything looks amazing and you're just like, oh my gosh, you're in this world of wonder. Tomorrowland looks beautiful. I get to spend all this time in Tomorrowland. Now for the bad. For a movie called Tomorrowland that shows you a really awesome shot early on of Tomorrowland, there's not a lot of Tomorrowland in Tomorrowland. You're like, this is amazing, and then the rest of it pretty much takes place on Earth. Are we gonna get there? Is Tomorrowland there? Do I have to wait till tomorrow to show up? What's going on, movie? Also, this movie gets a little too Disney. You know how Disney is always about follow your dreams and follow your heart, and I'm an optimist. I believe in all that stuff. At the same time, there's a point where you can go a little too far with it. And the reason why it bothers me a little bit more in this movie than other movies is because the whole reason of being accepted into Tomorrowland is that you have some kind of special skill and you're an optimist. You dream and therefore you've become a musician or a painter or an artist, an inventor, an engineer, a scientist. You're planting trees to keep the environment safe. Something you're doing in the world is a reason why you would be accepted into the world of Tomorrowland. We hear a lot of talking about that, but we don't actually see people doing stuff. Oh man, there's great people here in Tomorrowland. They do great things. Well, cool. Can we see some of those people? No, not really. We're not gonna see them do anything. But trust me, they do great things. I really would like to see those great things. They do great things. Casey probably does more inventing on Earth than she actually does in Tomorrowland. And it's also two different movies. There's one movie all about George Clooney's character, Frank Walker, learning about Tomorrowland. And there's another story about Casey learning about Tomorrowland. You almost feel like they could have been a part one and a part two. Like if they wanted to make this a franchise, they literally could have had Tomorrowland and then Return to Tomorrowland. But instead they clumped them all together into one movie. Don't get a lot of time of either. And all the exciting stuff gets pushed aside for exposition. There's a lot of exposition. And it's already been revealed to a certain extent that Frank's character is someone who has now returned to Earth. You're probably thinking like, oh man, something must have happened to him in Tomorrowland. Something big that must have caused him to leave. I'm gonna tell you what it is in the spoilers, but when you find out what it is, you're gonna be like, really? That was it? That was the reason? That's what I sat here and watched you be all angry throughout this whole movie hating Tomorrowland because of that one reason? Dude, you gotta get over that. I'm so sick of the mystery dialogue. You know, when like someone knows a bunch of information, they just have to tell the other person what that information is, but the whole time they're just going, I can't tell you that right now. You have to wait. I gotta take you to this other place first. I can't reveal that yet. Casey already living in the world of dreams and fantasy and make-believe and wonder. Tell her what's going on. She'll probably be like, yeah, that's cool, but no. I can't tell you what this is. I can't tell you what that is. Just say what it is. And now for the nerdy. There's a scene that takes place in the collectibles shop. There's a cameo in this. You see Incredibles shout out because Brad Bird, the director of Incredibles, is the director of this movie. And if for some reason you still don't know that Disney owns Star Wars, this one scene will remind you, you got suits, you got Han Frozen, you got R2-D2, doors opening with the Star Wars theme. They just want to remind you, hey, guess what? We own Star Wars. Halfway through the scene, at some point, I thought it was gonna just put a big graphic up that says, Star Wars, The Force Awakens, coming in December, go see it. Tomorrowland is a movie with some good ideas and some good scenes, but the execution just gets a little muddy, and it is really, really aimed for younger people. Live action has some cool scenes, have some hope and fantasy and dreams, but overall, generic Disney live action stuff. And that's kind of a shame because with Brad Bird being the director of Incredibles, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, he's got some good work behind them, but just somewhere it doesn't come off 100%. It's not bad, but but it's not like, oh my gosh. It's just kind of like, it's there. You'll probably have more fun at Tomorrowland. The actual Tomorrowland. I'm gonna leave the rest for the spoiler review, but let me know if you are going to see Tomorrowland and what did you think of it. Please subscribe to this channel, subscribe and let you know that new videos are coming out. And also be sure to check out my previous video. I actually reviewed a comic book. I reviewed Archie versus Predator #1 and 2, so you should check that out. I love you like a play cousin. I'm Audi 5000.